So hello everyone, a very warm and pleasant good morning to one and all present here. So today is the day we are having a renowned speaker with us, none other than Souvik Datta, who is currently the cyber security analyst, cyber of Infosys LLP. He is having great amount of knowledge in the field of cyber security. So welcome, sir. For today's session, I believe that you'll be definitely getting a good amount of enthusiasm from our participants, and our participants are also going to have a great bond and great amount of learning from you. So welcome you in today's session and welcome to the all participants. I believe that this session will be really fruitful. Stage is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Weber, for introducing me.
Sir, you have muted your mic.
No, I think I am using the different system. Kindly pin this particular
Sorry, sir,
one.
just muted
The
your
webcam
mic.
is working right now. Okay, am I audible this time? Okay, great. Okay, so let's begin the session with some cyber security things. Okay. So hello everyone, very good morning to all of you. Myself, Souvik Datta, I am a cyber security analyst, works at CyberOps Infosec LLP. And today is your cyber security session. That is what a guest talk. So the session will be interactive one because I know that my sessions are quite interactive with the students. The reason behind that is I have multiple type of sessions to show, like I have live practical demonstrations to show. So I will show you a lot of practicals about that, like what we are doing in the next 1 to 1.5 hours will be a very best one thing to learn about the attacks, that what are the attacks present in the cybersecurity field. So I hope everyone is able to okay. So I hope everyone is able to see my screen. I have shared my screen with you all. If there is any kind of problem, then let me please know that what are the problems are occurring over here. Okay. So first of all, this is the information security section in which I will going to tell you about the cyber security things. What are the basic building blocks, how we can do the attacks, whatever the attack surfaces are. And there is a kind of attacks which you will really going to enjoy, because these attacks are one of the critical stages of attack, that in this realistic world, we have a lot of things to do in the cyber security mainly. So most of the time we'll check out the things like what are the different type of attack stages are there, and yeah, you will get to learn about all those things. Hope so that everyone is quite comfortable with this session. And if you face any problem, then you can reach out to me. I have already uh, the reach out to me factor also, so please reach out to me at this particular sessions, or you can directly interact with me in the LinkedIn as well as in my mail. You can drop up the mails, you can contact me in the Instagram. I have the Instagram account. So if you want to check out my website, this is the complete website of mine. And don't worry, this is designed by myself. So this is my website. You can interact with me. Okay. So I'm a certified ethical hacker, CH version 11, already did it in 2021 only. And also I'm a VAPD analyst, which means that I have work to do, like I have to do vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, which means I have to pen test the company environments. Okay. Then after that, I am a cybersecurity regular trainer, so that I will also give you the training seminars on all over the India, like to give out the PhD persons to give up the trainings in cybersecurity and a lot of things. And also a type of a gamer. So I love to play CSGO. I thought you all know that, right? Okay, so I have these type of pen testing skills. I have web application penetration testing skills. I have network pen testing skills. I have Android pen testing skills, and I'm also learning about the IoT pen testing. I will also show you that how to do the IoT hackings, and also a red teamer, so that if you have faced any problem on these, you will great to know that. Okay. So yeah, I'm also a type of a freelancer who works for a type of a thing like bug bounty, which is called as bug bounty. So I will definitely let you know that what is bug bounty. So these are my recent reported bugs that what I have recently reported in the bug sessions. Like I have reported to NASA a vulnerability that I have reported, and you can also read out those type of things. Like just click on the NASA factor and you will get the different type of things, like whatever the accomplishments I have. So these are the accomplishments I have done within my life, and yeah, I have reported bugs to NASA, Indigo Airlines, and then Central Bank Company, and I got a lot of money from them. So you can also do that, right? So don't worry, I'll train you about that thing. Next, the Red Wolf Company, Cox Communication, and also reported as a top 15 cybersecurity researchers of India from NCIIPC. You can also check it out, NCIIPC April 2021 newsletter. Sorry, 2020 newsletter, so that you will get my name on the list of Hall of Fame. So these are some standard things that I'm right now introducing about things. Like, okay, so you will get about my GitHub page. You can go to the GitHub page, but that's not so much in that GitHub page. You can directly interact me with the LinkedIn profile. I have my LinkedIn profile on the up, so you can join me there also. And you can also check out my Instagram. I have that. I have also given you the username, which is Warlock Rutex. Just put the same thing over here, and you'll get into my Instagram account. And after that, I have my mail address so that you can mail me about your things. Like if you have something interesting to share, please do it at the mail. So I have that mail address. So kindly mail me at shobik@cyberof.in. That is my official mail address. So you can mail me at any time, and you can also follow me at Twitter. Okay, so let's talk about the things like we are on the InfoSec things today. So let's reach out to that. So first of all, let's understand what is information security. Everybody is a lot of knowledge having cybersecurity. I thought so. Most of the persons know what is cybersecurity, how to do that, how to do the counter attacks, how to save ourselves. These are the random things that are ongoing in this world. So basically, cybersecurity, we all know, right? We all know what is cybersecurity. Now, the term cyber means internet. So we have to secure the internet space. The internet is having complete of, I can say, good persons and a collection of bad persons too. You don't know what the person is and what the intention of that person is. So basically, a moment of time, you can say that, yeah, there are a lot of bad persons are over that particular network. So what we need to do is we have to stop them. That is what the work of an InfoSec researcher or InfoSec analyst. So let's talk about what is information security. I thought a lot of people are going to enter in the session because 10 people are already on the waiting queue. So this is the limitation of 300 people only. Don't worry, you guys. You will get the complete video on the YouTube also. I will also join that. Okay. So let's talk about the InfoSec. That what is InfoSec? So talking about information security. Now, what is information? Basically, those informations which are traveling over the internet. Now, internet informations, are you sure? Yes, it is completely being of informations. If I talk about before 10 years from the date of today, we don't have so much expertise in the internet. Like we have to purchase a lot of plans, we have to pay a lot of cost for doing and working on the internet. But right now in these days, we have multiple things to do. We just use social media accounts, we just use our creative skills that you can say we can make our own page at the Facebook, at the Twitter, like this, and we can share it out. Now, these things are going on very much in the font of things like you can say we are sharing the information. Now, whatever the information we are sharing is completely visible to all of you. It's public information, right? So the cases which happens to cybersecurity is related to that information privacy breaches. Now, how it happens? Basically, it is for the girls, not for the boys right now, but mainly the girls are victim of that type of things. I have to check out those type of cases also. I got a lot of cases on these factors. Many of the girls accounts in the Instagram make their profile as make their public profile, and what the problem is that basically they have to face a lot of issues, and they know what are the issues are. So in that scenario, what do we have to do? we have to, first of all, we have to do a cyber complaint. That's one of the toughest thing for everyone to do. I don't know why, because I thought you haven't researched about that how to do the cyber complaint. Now there are the two type of factors. If your person or if your parents wants to tell you that you can do the cyber complaints, we will support you, then you can also go to good to go. You can also file the complaints. But let's say if your parents are not so good to go to say that don't do the complaints, then what do you have to do? Just have to open up a page. Let me share it with you. Cybercrime Complaints India number. So let's go to this particular website. Cybercrime.gov.in. Go to this website. Now we have one more thing: report women and child related crime and report other cyber crimes. So just go to the report women child related crimes, report anonymously, so that your information will not be leaked out. Go to this particular section, file a complaint, and I accept that. Whatever the things you want to complain it over here, just go ahead. This is the complete and anonymous thing. You can report it. Your details will never get leaked out. So this is the website that has been maintained by the government itself. So please do lodge a complaint. This is one of the important things. Now, next thing is what? What you can do about that thing? You can play some tricky games with them. Like if you want to play some tricky games with the person that is doing a cyber crime from with you, so you can also do some tricky things. Okay, I'm getting a hand raised by whom may I know? Okay, Nishan, please ask your question if you have any doubts. So this session will be completely interactive. If you have any doubts in the mid of the session, you can ask. That's not an issue. I will definitely solve that issues and we will go to again. So if you have any doubts, please ask it.
Yes. Sir, as you have mentioned that if any girl or woman wants to complain a cyber complaint, then they can go to the website and do this via anonymous, and their detail will not be shown. So many girl or women can misuse this power as well.
That depends. That depends on a person to person. I thought so that every girl and every boy is not that much level of, I can understand what the situation is going on right now in India.
But they can misuse, na sir.
But do one thing. You can just ask it like you have a very great. You can say yeah, you have done a very great job to ask this question. But the thing is, whenever the cyber complaint has been raised, after that police get investigated these things. If suppose in your name the complaint has been filed, the police will investigate about yourself. So if there is nothing to say, if there is no track record of your case in this cyber complaint, then there will be no case against you. That is for us sure, and there will be no cases against you in the future also. So this is also a kind of a request from the police that they will not do this misuse of the particular cybercrime portal.
Okay, so thank you for the answer.
Okay. Guys, don't make it controversial. This is a session about cyber security. You can also do that. There is not an issue. If boys want to complain about cybercrime, they can also do it. File a complaint. That's it. You will also get the same prompt, but you have to create an account and then go to go. Okay. So these are the states which are included in these type of factors: Delhi, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, and etc. So you can report it out. Now, some of the tricky games you can also play. Like I have access to one of our account. Like few days ago, I think, 2 weeks ago, there is a girl who messaged me about her problem, the same problem she was facing. Like one of a guy is harassing her about the photos that she shared on the public profile, and the editing is going on. What I did is basically I add that person with a different ID. I have to create my fake IDs, and that is not an problematic situation. You can do that for helping other persons. You can do that. So create a fake ID and do one thing. Just write IP logger. So this is the IP logger URL. Just go to this URL. Just write any of the website. Like let me say, let me just copy paste the Chandigarh University website. cuchd.in. What this particular website is going to do is it will short the URL and also give you the details. Like you can also short this URL. And if anyone wants to try this particular thing, let me just put it on the comment box. So you can just hit that link. I will get the details of IP addresses of all of you. So getting these IP details will very informative thing, because you can directly complain it to the police officers that I am getting these IP, and they will definitely going to track it out, because the tracking for the IP address are quite easy as compared to blocking that particular account. So if anyone try to hit that particular IP address, let's say I have refresh it once. Okay, let me just click over here and you can check my IP address. This is the IP address that is generating right now. So this is my IP address that is generating from the city is not that much in favor. So forget it about that. Just see this one, the IP address and the Railtel company. The Railtel company is providing me the particular broadband. So that is the connection name, Railtel connection. So this is how you can get the details about the IP addresses. IP addresses are quite things that you need to understand. These are the things that we can track it out in a very layman terms. Right? You don't have a power to track them IP addresses, but yeah, you can reach out to the police officers and then let them know that this is the IP address who is harassing me. So that's it. You can go to go. Okay, let's get back to the information security again. So informations are those things which are traveling over the internet, not in your friends, from one friend to another friend. That is over the internet. If it is over the internet, then it is information. So you can say a lot of informations are over the internet. Like I can say your Aadhaar card database. I think it is over the internet. Your PAN cards over the internet. Your driving license are over the internet. I thought so. So a lot of things are over the internet. Now, this is the scenario of 2017. I thought so. When I was learning cybersecurity things, when I was learning about attacking those type of websites, I got to know one of the best websites that is from the Nagpur area. That is Nagpur, Maharashtra. And that is basically an event organizing website, and that has been closed for now. So basically talking about that website, I tried to attack on that website, and surprisingly I got that access to that website. And the one best thing is when I try to check their data is completely filled up with the Aadhaar card and PAN cards of the students that are willing to participate on their website for gaming purposes, like they have physical games. So whoever wants to join their complete website have to sign up with the process with the help of Aadhaar card or PAN card, or you can say a date of birth certificate. So I got that data. When I complained them about their leakages, so they don't remind about that. They just told me you do have to stay away from this. So these kind of things happen over these days. You can directly check it out that what is the problem is being going on. Okay. So another hand raised. Please ask your question. Please ask your question. Yeah, we are busy and unsafe in the digital world too. That's true. We are busy in the world that we are not able to check out the things what are the data are going to breach. Okay, so you have to get the permission to get this to speak up yourself. Please give the permission to the students whoever want to ask their question. Okay, no issues, guys. If you don't want to do it for now, let's do it after the session. Like after the end of the session, I will ask you for the queries. Okay, so then we will ask you the doubts. Okay, so talking about the information security, right? So what are the informations that are traveling over the market these days? So basically, you all know a lot of things. Like I have my banking credentials with me right now. That is stored on my brain, not in my computer. So these are the things that we need to understand. We have to store everything in our mind only. Right? So this is what called as information security. We have to provide the complete securities as whatever the information is roaming around this world. So yeah, your information securities work on the three type of basic building blocks. One is confidentiality, another is integrity, another third is availability. Let's talk about each one of them in a very easy manner. So talking about the confidentiality, what is confidentiality? The term confidentiality means, yeah, we are confidential to store our informations. We need to check it out that our informations are quite kept confidential everywhere. Even it is my bank credentials. When I try to log in into my bank, I have some username and passwords. that I need to make it confidential because that is necessary one. So confidentiality is one of the important factors. Now let's say if I ask you for your account informations by doing some kind of attacks, like social engineering attack is one of that famous attack that is used for the confidentiality breaches. Now let me make a type of a website. Just I'll create a clone website of any type of like Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is, and I'll try to give you that website. Whatever the thing you do is, I will just tell you, hey, these are my DPs. Kindly like this one by logging into the Facebook account. Whatever the thing you will do, you just go inside that particular link, you open your Facebook account with that particular credentials, and boom, I got your credentials. So this is how your confidential data gets breached. So never try to interfere with those type of links. Now everybody asks me that, sir, is there any way that we can share a link to the person? Just I want to get the data from him. Yeah, that particular attack is also known as the from the tool that is called as Beep XSS. If you don't know about that tool, you just have to learn it, because this tool is quite, you can say, a type of an informative tool. So if you never gone through these type of tools, just go through this Beep XSS. This is the browser exploitation framework. This works with the URL. If you send this URL to a victim after creating that particular URL from this Beep project, you will going to just check out some of the interesting things about his phone or about his system. So BeepX is one of that tool, which is used for the purpose of confidentiality breaching. Hold on.
Guys, I have also shared the YouTube link of IEEE USB with you people. So after this session, after 1 hour of this session, we'll be uploading the recording on YouTube also. So you can definitely watch it from there, and there only we are going to declare our giveaways for you people. Continue.
Okay. So yeah, this is what confidentiality is. We are able to breach that confidentiality by using that Beep XSS tool. By using HTTPS sites only, then our info will be confidential. That's not true. That's not true, Mansi. Basically, HTTP and HTTPS is a kind of protocol that we are using right now. Even I can breach the database of HTTPS website. That is also sure. Yeah, we can breach that out. Even if you have heard about the security issues that are ongoing right now in the market, like Domino's website has been breached. How it breached? Because it works in the HTTPS, right? So these are the kind of things that we never try to misunderstand these concepts. HTTP and HTTPS are just the type of protocols. Yeah, if you write some data over the HTTP websites, then surely it will travel to the server in a plain text format. That means whatever you are writing on the credentials, it will be completely gone through as a plain text. But if I talk about the HTTPS, then it's completely good. Like there will be encrypted data, and that will be only sent to the server. So that is the quite difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Using incognito or VPN is how much safe? Nothing is safe. Incognito is nothing. Incognito is just you can get the data from over the incognito browsers also. So that is nothing to save. VPNs are also limited. You can say it is a kind of a limited safe, which makes you understand that. Let's say if you are using a VPN connection, and if you are visiting any of a website or you are hacking a type of a website, at that moment your VPN turns off automatically. There is no kind of interest, like it happens, generally it happens. So whenever your VPN gets break out, your original IP is going to be saved on that particular website's log. So that is a kind of a, you can say, a cybercrime happening things. So VPN is not.
Shavik sir, I just want to make one announcement for the participants. So all the participants, if anybody is having any doubts, they can simply raise their hand. I will give you the permission. Then only you can unmute yourself. Or meanwhile, you can use the chat option as well. So over to you, Shavik sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so means our information can be shared while using HTTPS sites. Yeah, it can be shared. Like if you are accessing the website which is having database, then might be the database can be compromised easily if there is some kind of vulnerabilities over that website. How safe is Tor browser? Completely safe, I can say. Tor browser is completely safe, but the thing is same as of VPN. If your Tor network gets breakdown, you will get caught. Okay, hold on. How the Tor browser is protecting your identity. How the Tor browser is protecting our identity. Basically, Tor works like a chaining system. It connects from one IP address to another IP address and then the third IP address, and then you will get the access. So a kind of chain is going on. So that is how the Tor gives you a type of anonymity. Why the anonymous option is only for the girls? I can even remember one my own website about the government teachers and their own coaching is not easy. I think this news has been occurred few days ago. The anonymous option is only for the girls message. I thought so, if I'm not wrong. I can't say anything about that. Basically, it needs to be there, but about to the recent scenarios, it's going on. Might be there is some development kind of thing of going on. Maximum links of our Tor are broken. Basically, the dark web maximum links are Tor are broken, not for the random things. Like if you are using a surface web and you just want to get connected to that, you will directly get connected. There is not an issue. Excuse me, sir. Our IP provider will come to know that what we are using Tor, but not what we are actually doing. Yes, exactly. How can we make our IP provider not know? Actually, when you try to visit the Tor service, then your ISP will not going to understand what you are doing right now over the internet. If you are using the Tor, there will be also no leakage of that thing that it is using a Tor service or not, because Tor is working on a different type of port numbers. So there is no scenario between you and your ISP that we will try to copy. So there will be no data shared with the ISP. That is what the different ports are used for. Okay, so let's go with the session now. I think a lot of questions are there. So let's go with the confidentiality. We have done with the confidentiality, and now let's move on to the integrity issues. That what is integrity and how it works. Let's say if you are working on some banking websites, let's say if you are working on a banking website, right? Now what you can say is you have a banking website, you have an e-commerce platform for that, for transacting some type of money. If you are doing transactions, then you have to pay the money, right? So let's talk about the e-commerce website situation, that how I got a bounty in that particular sector, which is a central bank company that is listed on my website. You can directly check it out. So basically in that website, it is a complete type of a thing that the Paytm gives to you. The Paytm would do what? It has a wallet option. It has now a bank option. And I think Paytm is also giving its credit card to the person. So basically the central bank company is the same as of Paytm. So what I did is basically they have an option of a wallet where we have to just you can say add some of the money from our own bank account to that particular central bank company bank account. Now I have tried the same thing, but I have changed some of the things. Like whenever I try to cut out the money from my bank account, that is quite $10,000 I have approached or I have requested to my bank account, right? So I have to do the transaction of 10,000, but I don't have money that much. So what I did is I have intercepted that request or modified that request, or you can say tempered that request and changed that $10,000 to only $1. So that seems good. And just when I forwarded the request, I got access to $1. I just have to cut my $1 from the bank account and I got access to the $10,000 money in my wallet section, which I can do everything, right? So $10,000, I think it's not a ending money. So that is how I breached that particular website and reported that bug to that particular website, which is central bank company, and they have rewarded me with $200 of amount, I thought so. So that is not that much of bounty, but yeah, I can say that is one of the starting or initial stages of bug bounty. So I have done well. So these are the kind of vulnerabilities that are appeared over the websites, mostly on the e-commerce websites, on the banking websites. So we have to check the integrity. Now what the integrity is over here. Whenever you try to transact some amount of money, that means what? Whatever the money you are giving to that particular server or particular website, the same amount of money deduct from your account, right? That is simply called as integrity. Now, what if the money is deducting from your account is different as compared to what the money is uploading to that website? So that is what called as integrity issues that already raised over multiple type of websites. So these are the type of vulnerabilities that I got from here. You can also check out the readings about. I have shared the particular website over here. This is the central bank company. I think $100 of reward I get only, not $200. So that's what called as business logic errors. And let me check. There is a website working on or not. Okay, not .com, it's .net. So this is a banking website, a kind of a, you can say a demonstration website only, not a real website. just sign in, admin and admin. So I got sign in. Now I have transfer fund section from here, and I have two accounts, which is one is corporate and one is checking. Now how can I do that? I have a tool called as Burp Suite. Let me open that tool. So I have multiple accounts, corporate account and checking account. So let me try to do one thing. Let me send the money from corporate account to the checking account. So this is the corporate account and this is the checking account. Let me check the money, what is present in corporate account. So that is in the minus format. So no issues. We will still try to send the money. This is the demonstration website only. So from the corporate account to the checking account, and the money will be suppose as $1,000. Let me intercept the request by using the Burp Suite, which is the tool that I am right now using. So this is the tool, and I have to go to this proxy section. Right, this is the proxy tab I have to use in this Burp Suite tool. Let me just request that particular things. Transfer the money amount. I got the request. Yeah, you can see from bank account to bank account this and transfer money. Let's intercept the request and modify the request to 1 rupees only. Forward that packet and intercept of, look, 1 rupee was successfully transferred from one account to another account. I'm using the Burp Suite Professional Edition. So this is how we can transfer this money from intercepting the request. So this is how we can use the Burp Suite tool, right? So this is the kind of a website you can try to investigate these type of bugs. So if you try to do that in a very general website which is having bug bounty hosted, come on, you will going to get a lot of $500 of bounties might. So these are the kind of vulnerabilities that we need to understand in the integrity purposes. So you have heard about those type of things, like I thought so. Many of you heard about those type of bugs, like hey, this hacker purchases a pen drive at ₹1 only. How he can do that? So basically, these type of attack things we can do and perform and get the data. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Is Pegasus is zero-click exploitable? Then how does it hack phones? No, it's not a zero-click exploitable phone. It's a spyware application. It's a spyware application. We have to install that application on the mobile phones, and then we have to tap on it. It's not a zero-click exploit. It's a fake news that it's not a zero-click exploit. I have researched on it and got a lot of data from there. Okay, let me just discuss about the availability section. Like, what is availability? So talking about the availability, what availability is. So basically talking about the availability, which means as whenever the thing you required is available at that moment. What means that? Basically, let's say if you want to purchase a mobile phone from the Amazon.com, right? It's just an example. Don't go with the exact data. I'm just asking about the things. So let's say I just want to buy a cell phone, which is at the 12 a.m. at sale and in the Amazon.com. Now I have to do what? I have to wait for that time, right? So let's say I have to purchase a phone of 5,000 rupees and I have to wait at 12 p.m. so that I can buy that phone. Now, when I try to log in that particular website, which is at 11:45 or 55, I saw that the website has been completely crashed away. Now, what is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is about the availability issues. So sometimes it happens like a lot of traffic comes into the website. Like right now, what we are seeing in this particular session, we are having more than 300 participants, but only 300 are allowed, not more than that. So the same thing happens to the server also. So servers have the own capacity. Servers have some limited capacity at the interval of time. Let's say I have a server which holds only 100 users at a second, which means in 1 second it holds 100 users, right? So more than that will crash down your website. That is what is called availability issues. So these are the normal issues that happens over the e-commerce websites, and generally in this moment of time, availability issues are going to be reduced very much, right? So these are some principles of information security, and these are what called as CIA trade. This is what called as CIA trade in the cybersecurity methodology. So this is one of that. Now let's move on to the things like what is hacking. Everyone knows that, but still I have to clear some of the methodologies. So what is hacking? Hacking in realistic way, I can say that to get the data from them. Like whatever we are targeting right now, we have to get the data, right? We have to get the sensitive information. That is what called as reality in hacking. But now these days we have a lot of things that right now going on these markets. Let's say Bollywood movies are one of that thing who are downing these type of sectors of cybersecurity. They just do one thing. You can say a lot of websites are come in, like for getting the graphical user interface, like Geektyper. We have a Geektyper website. If I open that website, a lot of persons get actually understand what the movie is shown us. Let me just go to the full screen. Okay, let me in. Let me just click on the okay, let me in. I have to choose the graphics. Like I will going to choose SCP. And this is what the movie does. Basically, these are the things that what movie does. If I have to try something writing this, something happens over that. So a lot of a moment of time, it will start hacking the satellites. Look, start hacking these satellites. It's something is going on, like I have getting the file system of the Linux, decryptor is going on. So a lot of things are going on, right? So these are the fake things. You can not depend on them. These are the fake things. So basically, never try to depend on them. This is the completely illogical thing that is going on right now. You have a lot of ways to do that. That is for sure. You can definitely try this out, but not for the realistic hacking. This is not the hacking for that. So this is what the hacking is going on in front of you. This is what the GIF image of the hacking. That is what reality hacking is. And this is the part of where the person is hacking the database of a complete website, or you can say a type of an IP address where the website has been hosted. So what is hacking? Hacking is divided in two parts. One is legal and one is illegal. So whoever wants to do the illegal, they can do that. Whoever wants to do the legal stuff, they can learn a lot of things. So these are the hacking things. Now we are understanding these type of things. What is hacking in realistic world? Basically, this is only not the hacking stages. We have to apply everything. We have to approach every target. Like initials, we have to check that the website is running by whom, who is the registrant of that website, who is the owner of that website, what type of technology is used by that type of website. If it is using some kind of PHP, ASPX, any kind of frameworks that are using, then we are able to do that on attack surface or not. So these are what hacking is, not that kind of thing which we are seeing on the movies. So Mr. Robot is one of that movie who shows a lot of things, a lot of good things I can say. And yeah, they are possible in the realistic world also. So basically, they have made that movie very well, and they have made that movie for the only hackers. So what is hacking? Basically, we know that hackers are the person who hacked their particular system. So whatever the system is there, whatever the website is there, whatever the networks are available on the market, whatever the Android device is there. So kind of hacking is that thing, right? So it's a very easy thing to understand in the realistic world. You don't have to understand that much of hacking knowledges. So what are the type of hackers? So basically, I will ask you a question about the end of this particular topic of hackers, type of hackers. So this is one of that hacker who is a black hat hacker. Black hat hacker means the malicious hacker whose intent is not to do the good thing. Whose intent is not to do the good thing. Like he will always try to infiltrate the website's data. He will sell the data at the online markets like dark web and deep web. So from these, he or she does the income or he get the money. So basically, these are the black hat hackers who never share their confidentiality with anyone. They are remain anonymous to the world. They can do a lot of stuff, right? So these are the attacker persons. They are the offenders. They are the attackers. This is what called as black hat hackers. Now talking about these one, at the very right, we have a white hat hacker, which means the person who learns to attack on the network or defend on the network. He can do a lot of things. He can do attack. He can do defend. So these kind of persons help the organizations to grow and reach in cybersecurity policies. They always try to maintain them, like please follow these type of cybersecurity policies to get the things done. Like always try to do research about cybersecurity. What are the attacks going on? They research about those things, and then they are generally try to attack those type of networks, web applications, Androids, and after that, They will engage on the things like they try to defend them also. They will get the reasons why this hack is happening. So these are the kind of hackers known as white attacker, and we are the persons who are working in a company as a cyber security guys. So we are what called as white attacker. So we have a knowledge of attack and defend both. Now this is what the thing called as white attacker. Now this is one of a mid one. This is what called as gray hat hacker, which is a mixture of white and black. I generally told them as mauka dekh ke chauka marne wale. Now why I use that particular sentence? Because they first of all check that out if I'm getting the benefit from that or not. If he is getting benefit by the hack, then he will proceed to share the data as white attacker. Otherwise, he will do the job of black attacker. So ये मौका देख के चौका मारने वालों में से. So you can say that. So may I just want to ask you guys, what you think, who is the dangerous type of hacker in this situation? A black attacker or a white attacker or a gray attacker? You can directly comment down below on the chat box. Okay, okay, that's fantastic. You can write your own suggestions. There is no issue. Okay, so moreover, the persons are in the gray field section. Okay, okay, I got your point. I got your point. Gray hat hackers are generally these hackers who are more dangerous, right? So please be alert of them and don't be a gray hat hacker, because at the time of learning the cyber security, we all become gray hat hacker. Reason is what? We don't have a knowledge that how we have to proceed in this particular section. A lot of persons, a lot of newbies, a lot of beginners done this. So never try to be a script kiddie or a type of person who knows as great hackers. I also make myself understand that what I have gone through these situations. Like when I was in my college life, I'm not going to share my college ID. So what happened to that is, let me share you a story. So in that scenario, I have learned to attack a DOS attack. Like attack means where I can crash out the website by using some sort of tools. So DOS is a denial of service attack, which means that you can attack on a server, and if that server crashes away, that means your attack got successful. So I have learned about that attack, and yeah, I have applied over my college website, and you can't believe that the college website has been down for the next 3 days. So they asked me DDoS or DOS, though both are different type of thing. DOS attack is basically used by or attacked by only a single system, but DDoS is mixture of multiple systems. So I have attacked over the DOS, but I use the DOS attack tool and attacked over the server, and the website get crashed for the next 3 days. Now, whenever the administrator got learned from that, their website has been down. They asked the administrator that who did this. So I don't know. They haven't trapped me out. They never get the data of mine that I have attacked them, because they are not so aware on the IT security piece. So I attacked that website and it was down for the next 3 days. So yeah, it's the kind of attack you can say when you are in the gray hat field, you can do that. But moreover, the things are that what we have done or what we have learned in the DDoS attack is basically means that to crash the server, right? So this is a kind of an attack which is also done in a white hat way. Like it is what called as stress testing or load balancing, which means as you have to produce the step, and you have to produce the step over the website, and you will have to get the website crashed. So if the website get crashed, your attack is successful. So this is a kind of a white hat attack, but you need the permission for that. Phishing attack, it's not phishing, it's phishing, PH, right? Sir, is the hacking difficult? No, hacking is not that difficult. Hacking is never difficult. Hacking is not that difficult part, but yeah, whenever you try to go ahead with the things, like whenever you try to learn a lot of things, then it will be going to be quite difficult, because you have to learn a lot of things. You have to learn some kind of scripting for your own involvement in the cybersecurity, so that you can understand what are the things going on in the particular realistic world, right? Can command be solely used for hacking? Can command or CMD, command prompt, right? No, CMD is not that used level for the hacking purpose. It is only for the information gathering part. You can use for the information gathering part of hacking. How can we learn and from where we are? I will share you that tips, that how we can learn the attacks. So can you suggest some website for hacking? Yeah, definitely, I will suggest you. You just have to go with the website named as TryHackMe. TryHackMe.com is that website, and you can also connect me out like CyberOps InfoSec also gives you the empowerment to learn the cybersecurity. We also have a training program for that, and I will definitely make you understand what type of thing is going on that particular courses. How to be a hacker, which tools we have to use, and how to learn and where from, and all. A lot of things are there. A lot of questions are there. How to be a hacker? First of all, you have to make your knowledge very good. Like if you want to sharp your skills, then go ahead and learn from right now. Everything is going on in this particular world, and we don't have a kind knowledge of that. So first of all, you have to start something to learn something. So this is what the thing you have to start at. Like what are the attacks are going on? What if I try to attack that thing? So more of the things are best whenever you try to attack and defend by yourself. So this is the thing. How can you find the bugs in the website using OWASP? Just go with the OWASP understanding fundamentals, like how the OWASP works, what is the vulnerability present inside the OWASP. Do one thing, I will give you a type of a professional tip. Like you have to download a Metasploitable, whatever a type of a machine, or you can directly go ahead with a Multility. Multility is a tool from the OWASP for testing scenarios. Learn it completely. It is having a lot of vulnerabilities related to the only OWASP sections. So Multility will help you definitely. Your VirtualBox is best for learning Kali Linux. Basically, VirtualBox is used for the purpose of virtualization, not for the only Linux. You can download any Linux and make it use over the VirtualBox. So you can download and run the operating system over the VirtualBoxes. Can you use Kali Linux? Yes, you can use the Kali Linux. I will suggest you to better to use the Kali Linux because it will give you a lot of knowledge. Okay, I will guide you about the things to be a good hacker. Which programming there is no programming language is compulsory. It depends on which type of things you are going to attack. हमको अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड का इंस्टा आईडी हैक कराना है. ओके, सो करवा लो भाई, जिससे भी होता है ये हमारे से तो नहीं होता. Is data structure relevant in hacking? No, that not much. It's relevant only for the purpose of programming. How can I secure my Linux distro as no one can hack into till now? Just change out your network of your Kali Linux. Just switch out the network so that none of anyone can access your Kali Linux from outside of the world also. Basic Python, HTML language, etc. Okay, some tips. Insta accounts are quite impossible to crack, but it is possible whenever a password is very less secured. Okay, so you are using Garuda Linux. That is one of the fantastic Linux I have seen. So I joined a bit late. I'm missing anything. Yes, I think your friends will suggest you what you have missed. Don't worry. You will get the details. You will get the video again at the YouTube also. Basic skills for hacking, like which programming language, etc. Go ahead with the Python language. It is one of the kind language right now which is going on. Okay, guys. Let's begin with the sessions again. We have the practicals to watch, right? We have the query section at the end, don't worry. So let's talk about the bug bounty. So what is bug bounty? Bug bounty. These are the two different words. Let me just combine them after some while. So what is bug? Bug is basically what the thing is called as weaknesses found over any type of applications, whether it is a network application, whether it is a web application, whether it is an Android application, anything. That is a weaknesses that makes you get the sensitive information. I request Vaibhav to please share the channel URL in the chat box again.
Okay.
Okay, so basically bug is that type of thing or that type of weaknesses that we can get into the websites. A website is having a lot of bugs. It can contain a lot of bugs. You don't make it understand like there is not a kind of one bug only. You can chain the bugs. You can get the weaknesses. You can get the data from that bugs. So some critical type of or sensitive information whenever we get from the bugs, that is what called as bug from the website. And what are the bounties? For reporting those bugs in some kind of websites, we got rewards. Rewards are in the format of money or t-shirts, which is also called as swags. And we also have a Hall of Fame. So Hall of Fame means your name will be printed on that particular website for finding the bug. So that is what called as bounties. These are what called as bounties. The rewards you are getting from the bugs are what called as bounties. So I think in the graph of 2021, Indian hackers or Indian newbie hackers who are just doing the bug bounty hunting are in the top of the world. We have 10,000 hackers in the India only. So they are doing bug bounty. So there is a tip for you also. Like whenever you try to start the bug bounty, never go with the web application pen testing. I will suggest you why. Because moreover the persons, approximately, if I try to get the ratio, let's say from the last 10, if I talk about the 10 persons, if there are 10 persons who are bug bounty hunters, then most of them, 9 of the persons are web application penetration tester, but only one of them are Android application pen tester. So always go with the Android application pen testing, which is having a less demand, but you will get a lot of bounties over them. Okay, so there is a good question. How do we report to any website for their bugs? Not of any website. The websites which are hosting the bug bounties, only we can directly share their reports. For finding the bug bounty websites, you just need to write a responsible disclosure. Like if you want to search about the Indian websites, then you can write India. So sorry, some typo errors. So these are the websites which are listed in the India. You can open up any website. This is the yatra.com website. And you will need to read out all those things. And whatever the things they will give you in bounty, you can also read out over here. So I think they are giving Hall of Fame. This is Wall of Fame or Hall of Fame. Everything is there. So they have given the Hall of Fame till 2018. There is no record of 2019, 20, and 21. So you can go ahead. So this is the thing, right? And how can you report them? So bug bounty, go to the bug bounty program manual. You will get some mail addresses. Let me just check. At the rate. There is nothing at the rate over here. Okay, go to the report issue. So this is the report issue. You can directly report it over here. And many of the websites also host the kind of a thing, like they also give you mail addresses over there. So yeah, you can report it out here. Security@movieexchange.com. I have recently reported a bug at a movie exchange. Let's see when it gets resolved, and I will get back to them. That is there any bug bounty hunter program is going on? If yes, then go ahead, and if no, and if you still want to, then you can go down. Remember one thing: never try to do a lot of automation testing. If you try to do the automation testing, somehow their website get crashed, and they will directly ban your IP address. So always try to check out their services by some manual tools, not with the automation tools. And if their services goes down, there will be no issue. They will directly up at some moment of interval of time. So wait for that. Don't worry. Don't message them about these things. They will definitely going to up that, right? Because they are the giant websites. You can't down their websites. They have a lot of capacities to do handle. So this is what called as bug bounty. Now let's have some discussion on the realistic environment. Okay, so let's talk about the practicals now. We have gone through a lot of theories. How to do recon in broad scope programs. You can do recon a lot of things, like you can go to the GitHub and search for their programs. You can use tools like ReconDoc, Multego, or even you can use a lot of tools like dir search for directory brute forcing. A lot of things are there. Can they take action against us? No, they will definitely not going to take any action against you. So there will be no action against you. If the website is hosting the bug bounty, then there will be no action against you. But remember one thing, never try to breach their data. If you sell up their data, then it will be a kind of a illegal thoughts. Okay, so let's go ahead with the practicals now. I think who is the newbie at the particular cybersecurity might don't have knowledge about the SQL injection, or might have only knowledge about the development sector things, like how the web applications develop and what are the type of scopes that are present on it. Let's say if there is a kind of a website which is storing some kind of sensitive information such as the user data, right? So if the website is storing the data of users, then it must have a database. So what we need to do is we have to hack the database. If there is a kind of database, then we have to find the bug, and that bug is what I'm calling as SQL injection attack, which means I'm trying to infiltrate their website and I will get the access of them. So this is the kind of attack. But right for now, I'm not going to use it manually. I'm not going to do it manually. Manually took a lot of time and it can waste a lot of time. So I'm not going to do that. But hold on. This is only not about the SQL injection. I'm just going to do the SQL injection attack, but I have some trick to do that. I hope you ever understand what is SQL injection. If a lot of persons over here who is already known with the cybersecurity things, so I thought they already know what is SQL injection, but I have a trick to you. This one. We will first of all hack the data, or we'll just get the database breach. And whenever we get the website in our hands or the database of that website, we will directly try to infiltrate their operating system, whatever the operating system is being used over there. So is that website is hosting over a operating system? Yes. We have a multiple kind of operating systems available. If you know about a server, that what a server is, basically server is a kind of a computer which is hosted over the internet, and you have to purchase that. And over them, you can deploy your own websites, right? That is simple as for. So what we are going to do is, we are going to first of all attack that website, get the database done, and by using that database technique, we are going to hack the computer system. So for you, I have just using some kind of tools. Please do not attack on that particular server, because after this session, I'm going to down that website. So this is not the realistic website. I have created this website over my Amazon server. So you don't have to do this. I will just show you how to do that, and just check this out how we can do that, right? So let's say, first of all, I want to hack the data. So I'm just using a kind of a tool which is called as SQL map. This is a tool called as SQL map. I'm using my Kali Linux for now. Let the Kali Linux load it properly. I will do the attack from the Kali Linux only. I'm not going to use my Windows operating system for now. I think my Kali Linux is lagging right now. So let me just restart. Oh, okay. I don't have to restart that, but it's quite lagging. Let me just restart in a way. That depends. Once that depends. If for WSL you are working in, then it will be quite good, but that is also have some limitations issues. And while if you are working in the VM, then VM is quite good, but that depends on your hardware capacity, whatever the hardware you have in your system, right? So everyone is having that particular limitation. Okay, if anyone wants to check my website, I will drop the website URL over there. Is this Kali Linux your virtual operating system? Yeah, my Kali Linux is this virtual operating system. I'm using the old Kali Linux right now. Hardware refers to everything like RAM, your RAM capacity, your hard disk capacity, your graphics card is there or not. Sometimes it lacks basically. So you have to manage all those things. Okay, so I have that particular IP address where I have been sorted out my particular. So this is the DVWS. This is basically a demonstration website only. I know that multiple of person from you use that type of websites. Minimum requirements for your system. So you have a 4 GB of RAM, that is must required. 16 GB i7, that's completely totally fine, man. That is not an issue. So 4 GB of RAM is required, i3 processor is required, and 1 TB of hard disk. And if there is no graphics card, then it is also good to go. Let me just first of all log in. Sorry, I have to get logged in inside that. Now check this out, what I am doing at this moment, because this is the important thing. Please focus on that. I'm just reducing the security level to low. This is the SQL injection website. I can perform the SQL injection. Now, whatever the thing I'm going to do is, first of all, I will start the burp suite over here. I will intercept the packet only. I will only intercept the packet and save it as text file. Okay, so this is how my burp suite has been started, and let's start the burp suite. This is the latest version of burp suite, that is version 2021.8.2. So let me just go ahead with that website, connect it to the burp suite, write anything that you want to write. I just want to write one, and let me just intercept that request. The proxy is on. Submit the request, and yeah, I requested that particular, and this is the request I have get from the website. Now copy this out, copy this complete thing, go to our next terminal. I will use some text editor for writing those things. So I will write SQL map.txt, whatever the file name you want to drop. I will paste that out, save it. Let's get out of that. I can show you what I have written in that particular thing. This is the complete scenario I have written. Okay, so I have to use, or I have to close that burp suite. I have done with my burp suite things. Now let me just close this burp suite. Now let's try to attack. Okay, so let's attack on this. I have that particular intercepted request. Now I'm using SQL map for that. So let me just open up a new tab, make it size good, and let me just write SQL map -r. -r is for reading the text which what we have intercepted for now, and whatever the text is, SQL map.txt, right? So SQL map is the name of the tool, and whatever we have intercepted is saved that is on txt file, which is SQL map.txt, and -r is used for the purpose of reading that particular data. Whatever the data is inside that, it will read that data. I will write -dbs, which is used for the purpose of grabbing the database. Whatever the database is, that it will try to filter that out. Hit the enter button and wait for some moment. It will ask you a lot of questions, so I have to answer them all. Okay, so there is no questions asked by that. So I got the database. Look, I got the database. So these are the database that are available inside my Amazon web server. I have hosted that out. So what I need to do is, this is a kind of a website which is having database, DBWA, information underscore schema, some kind of MySQL, some kind of performation schema, PHPMyAdmin, and test. Let's do one thing. This is the website which is named as DBWA. That's for sure. The website database is DBWA2. Now I will use the same link. I just have to remove the -dbs to only capital D, and then I will write DBWA. That is what the database name is. And after that, I just need to add one more thing. I have breached the data. I can get the data from here. I can get the data, right? But I'm not going to get the database information. I just want to hack their complete operating system. Write -os -shell. Enter this particular code and hit the enter button. Okay, so now it's asking me what type of the language is using on the web application. So I have the particular tool of that. I have a webalizer for that. So I have a webalizer, and the webalizer is making me understand this website is working on the PHP format. So PHP I have to choose in the 4th number. I will write 4, enter the hit button. It is asking me, do you want to SQL map? Do you want SQL map to further try to provoke the full path? I will go no. Let me just hit the N, hit the enter button. And some kind of problems we need to discuss over here is whenever a developer, a sort of developer I can say, hosts a website, then he hosts some kind of usage of some type of software, that is exam software, WAM software. These are the software that he uses a lot of time. So I'm also going to use this particular one, which is custom location 1. It will try to attack on that custom location. Hit the 1 button and wait for a call. Look, I got access inside the operating system. This is the OS shell open up, and I got the access inside the system. If I write dir, it will display me a lot of things. These are the directories that are available inside that particular machine. So I have hosted an Amazon web server in which I have downloaded an exam software, and over that I have put my these particular vulnerable website, which is DVWA, which is damned vulnerable web application. So I'm getting a lot of details. I can jump into the CDC, so that to dir. No, there is no dir is working over there. Interesting. So these are the things I'm getting from that, right? So this is how I have hosted my machine, and over that, this is the attack I can perform. So I'm inside the operating system where the particular website has been hosted. That means I have compromised that web server. First of all, I have compromised that website by the database vulnerability, and then I have gone to this particular server for ending this up. So I have compromised the server, and I can do a lot of things over that server. Okay, so don't do that over my particular server, Amazon. So basically it will ask me for a lot of money. So don't do that, right? It is just a basic random scenario that whenever a person, whatever the thing is happening over that, let me just share you a realistic case that I have been gone through. Like, I think 6 months ago, one of my friend asked me for a help. Like, his father has donated some amount of money in a kind of an NGO, and that NGO website is not looked like an NGO website. That is basically a cheap costed website which has been hosted over a server of exam. That after I know that. So what I did is I tried to investigate that website and got a vulnerable injection point, that is for the database attack or database breach. I tried to use the SQL map, attack that website, and got the access to the database. But I thought getting the database is not that much information I will only get from the server. I need to try one more thing, that is hacking the operating system completely. So I performed the same operation over that. Yeah, luckily I got the access into server. And I checked out, there are 52 plus websites which are hosted on that website for only forgery works. They are using a payment gateway website which has been designed by themselves, by copy paste some of the source codes, and they are using it. So these are the kind of attacks that happens all over the world. But I have crashed that complete server by using some sort of tools, completely crashed that web server. That depends which of the server is using by them. Like, they are using the Windows server, so I have crashed them out. So this is how you can attack over them. This is how you can perform the attack over them. So this is the attack that we need to understand. There is a kind of attack for attacking database, breach to attack on the hacking operating system. So we got access to the operating system and we can do a lot of stuff. So these are the things that we need to understand the basic cybersecurity world, that we can change the bugs. If we have a one bug, just chain it with another bug. Might be you will get a lot of bug bounties over there. So this is a kind of attack which happens from data breach to the operating system hacks. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Let's go ahead with the next. That is the next attack, and just read it out, whatever the things are written over here. So this is the popular attack of 2018 of Android. If your security was high, then this method will work or not. No, this will not work. Basically, that is depends on the developer section, that whatever the code they have developed or whatever the bugs they have, let it remain for us to hack their website and get the data done. Okay, so popular Android attack since
Sir,
2008.
sorry to interrupt you. Just an announcement for the participant. Guys, we have shared our Discord link with you people. So just join the Discord also. And the link, it is shared by Atul Jha. So just join the Discord. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so basically, okay, I'll come to that point. I'll come to that point about OSCP and CH, Aditya Sharma. Hold on for a moment. So let's talk about the popular Android attack since 2018. Basically, this attack is being, you can say, a type of a blacklisted attack, and no person wants to try that attack out. I thought so, because no one have any idea that Android machines are already vulnerable. Android operating systems are quite vulnerable to that. Okay, let me just share you one more thing. We are going to take a live attack over here. I don't know whatever the machine is vulnerable to that or not. So here I will try to escalate a type of an Android machine or Android operating system, or you can just say Android phone or Android TV. Because now these days we have an Android TV also that has been launched over the network. So I'm going to escalate that one. I'm going to hack that one and get the data done. So what is popular Android attacks in 2018? So this is basically done with the ADB. Now what is ADB? Let's say I have an Android mobile phone and I have a system with me. I have to connect that mobile phone with that my PC for some internal usage. So basically Android is used for the purpose of, hold on. So basically Android is the used for the purpose of some kind of popular smartphones, you can say, and also we can do some internal works over them. So if you want to check it out, whatever the internal structure of Android is, you can go ahead and check. Whatever the architecture of Androids are present. This is the basic architecture of Android and it is present over the Linux operating system. So Linux kernel is helping out to start the Android. So Linux is completely there. So ADB is that point of software which helps you as a command line interface to connect your machine to that Android device. So for connecting those Android devices by using the ADB technique is what the tool is made up for. So you can download the Android debug bridge from the internet. You can download it from here, right? ADB download. You will get the link xdadevelopers.com. Go to this website and we have things like download the Android SDK platform tools. Go to this, download this particular tool or for the Windows only or whatever the operating system you are using it. You can download that tool. And after downloading that particular platform tools, this is the zip format of that tool. You can make it use with the help of command line interface, right? Okay, let's move ahead to the next thing. So this is what the ADB means for. ADB is basically a type of a bridge which connects your mobile phones with the system so that you can perform some internal works as well. So for Android application pen testing, we need to use the ADB as well. And let's see whatever the attacks are there on internet. Shodan.io, I'm going to use this website. This website is used for the purpose of finding the IoT devices, that is internet hosted devices. Internet of Things is what called as IoT, and the devices which are hosted on the internet, we can check it out by using the Shodan website. So this is the link of the website shodan.io. Now whatever thing I need to do is I just need to search the Android debug bridge and the port number will be already fixed, which is port number 5555. So let me write in the double quotation format, Android debug bridge. This is the full form of ADB. Write it as I need the devices, so I will write device and the port number will be in the 5555. This will be the confirmed port number for connecting any of the Android devices. So this is the Android debug bridge device. They are listed over the internet. Now you can see that is from the China, that is from the Hong Kong, that is from the Korea, that is from the Taiwan, Nantau, Sweden, Korea. A lot of things are there, right? And I think you guys are getting interested, excited about the China things. Please hack that Chinese server. Let me just try. What I have to do is I just have to download the ADB with my system. So I'm using the Kali Linux machine over here also. Let me open up a new tab, write the ADB connect. So for connecting the ADB machines, we need to write ADB connect and the IP address with the port number. So this is the IP address. Let me try over it. Paste it out and colon 5555, which is the port number 5555. Hit the enter button. Let's see whether it gets connected to that device or not. Okay, so daemon gets started successfully and it is connected. You can see it is connected. So let me write ADB shell. Oops, I am inside the shell now. I'm inside the particular device. So this is how you can get the internals of that device. Now, if I try to write ls, which means list all the directories and files, it will list out all the directories that are present inside that. So this is how you can hack a machine. This is how you can hack a Chinese device that is based on the Android operating system. And yeah, we are getting access to that. So these are the internal data that we can get access to, but hope so that it has some limitations not to go inside that particular thing. Let me just write cd slash data, data slash data. It's working quite slowly. Let me write ls. The permission has been denied, which means I cannot access their data directory. Okay, so that's wonderful. We have the one of our system. Let me try to another one also. First of all, let me just disconnect this device from the ADB so that we can connect to the different device. Typo errors are happening today. The ADB disconnect. Let me write disconnect over that. It will disconnect the system directly. Okay, so disconnected that particular thing. Let me try to connect one more devices. Let me try out this. I have one more IP address like this one. This is the IP address of, I think, Korea. I have gained access to. ADB connect. This port number, this, and enter that particular thing. No, it's not getting connected right now. So let me just move on to the next one, that is Sweden. Connect. Likewise, you have to try a lot of devices. I will get access to multiple devices at a time. So it's taking time. Might be it's not able to get connected. No, it's not getting connected. Move over to the next device, that is of Korea again, and it's Korean Telecom. Stop it. Let's change the IP address. Let me see. Likewise, I will try to copy paste the kind of IP addresses. These are the IP address of the device, and this is what the my Cox vulnerability. This one, Cox communication. Yeah, this is how the IoT vulnerabilities I have got from the camera mobile memory dump. I have dumped the memory of the camera, which are hosted over the internet. So it's also getting connected. Let me change the IP address again. So likewise, you have to try. Look, I'm getting connected to another device. So ADB shell. Let me check whether I'm getting the shell connection or not. Yes, I'm getting it. Again, put the ls only. Okay, so we have the list of the files that are available. Right. So this is how you can gain access to the Android devices. Okay, so if you have any query, you can ask it right now, or you can drop in the chat box. I'm done with the session. If you have any queries, please ask it out.
Great, sir. It was really a great session, and participants have really enjoyed a lot. And I personally believe that I have also learned so many things from today's session. So now I'll be requesting, ma'am, if you're there. Yes. So guys, if you people want to directly interact with the speaker of the day, so just raise your hand. If you are having any query and directly want to ask sir, then please raise your hand.
Okay, so Aditya asking me, what about OSCP? It's more preferred in India than CF. Yes, OSCP is more preferred moreover in India, not CF. That is a HR bypass techniques, nothing else. What are the different tools for learn hacking? There are a lot of tools like Nmap, Metasploit, Burpsuite. You can also use the ADBs. So these are the things that are available.
So guys, this is really a wonderful opportunity. We'll be giving a few people's opportunity to directly interact with the speaker. So please raise your hand if you are having any query or want to ask anything from the speaker.
So guys, the session is open for queries.
And I believe that it was really a great session. So I can see Sai Tarak. Sorry for the wrong pronunciation.
Okay, while
Can
doing
you please allow?
you're not. While doing the bug bounty hunting, there is no need to hide the IP address. How can we start our? Okay, roadmap to become a white attacker. Just try out the challenges, whatever available on the internet from the Try Hack Me website. Use the Try Hack Me website. This is the great website.
Hello, Mansi.
Yes, sir. So I
Yeah,
want to
Manas.
just ask that what are the ways to become a hacker? Means at the starting, what we have to do?
Okay, so first of all,
Means what is the beginner step? Means I don't know nothing about that. Then how can I start?
first of all, you have to learn the basics of that, like what are the cybersecurity is basically being called as, what are the operating systems we need to understand, what is the use of that operating system is basically mandatory for to learn. And then we have a lot of sectors over them, like we have a web application pen testing is a different portfolio, your network pen testing is a different portfolio, Android application hunting is a different portfolio. So you have to jump on them, but you have to learn all of the basics of all of them because it is much mandatory to go ahead with these things. So you have a basic criteria to learn, like how the web works, how the network, what is the basic criteria of learning networking. Networking is one of the important criteria to understand what the things are going to be done. So if you understand the networks, then you will easily get inside the cybersecurity.
So the next one, Sai, if you're able to speak, please. And if you people want to ask in the chat section, so then also you can post the queries. Session is open for the Q&A round.
Sai is having the rights to speak. So I request Sai to please unmute yourself and you can ask your query simply to that expert.
Where can we play the CTFS with no endurance skills? Okay, so basically, there is a website called as Pico CTF. You can play it out. Pico CTF is one of the easiest PDF ground, or one is there as Cyber Talent. And I have certificate of both networking and cyber security. Then it will be helpful. Yeah, it will be greater helpful. But these certifications are only for the HR bypass techniques. You have to understand these skills only. That is what's mandatory.
So I believe if there are no more queries, now I would like to invite Sugandha ma'am in order to speak few words for the speaker.
Thank you so much, Shovik, for the wonderful session. And I hope participants have learned a lot with the technical hands-on session as well. So the request I need to make with the participant is, as huge students are waiting for Shovik to be go live. So we will be sharing our session on YouTube live just after 30 minutes, hopefully. And you can join us there. And guys, the level 5 riddle and whatever the offers being offered by CyberOff will all valid and will concluded after both the sessions from Zoom and YouTube. So thank you so much for the wonderful session, Shobik, and I hope students have learned a lot and there will be n number of opportunities which you have shared with them. They should excel in the skill set as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful words. So thanks a lot to you, sir, for giving and delivering such a great session. Thanks to all the participants, including that, as you are well aware that we are going to be live on the YouTube just after an hour. So we'll be uploading the video. So people, you have to just comment your interactive comments on the YouTube. You have to just like, share, and bring good amount of interactive participant for our YouTube channel. And those who are going to really show their enthusiasm on our YouTube channel, they're going to get great giveaways from our side. So ending this session, thanks a lot to you, sir. Thanks a lot to CyberOff for bringing and introducing us with such a great initiative of this session. So thanks a lot to each and everyone. Thanks a lot to ma'am for joining this wonderful session. At last but not least, thanks a lot to all the participants.
And I just want to make a small request to Shovik Datta. Can you please share your LinkedIn ID so that if students feeling any other queries, they can directly ping you.
Yeah,
So
already,
it is entirely your choice.
yeah, ma'am. I'm already in the chat section. I think
Yeah,
I shared all
they
of them.
can, yeah, share once again. Thank you so much.
And guys, we have also shared the feedback form with you people and Discord link and IEEE CUSB YouTube link. So just visit all those links and you can get great insights from all the sessions IEEE CUSB is bringing for you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Now I
much.
guess I can officially close the session.
Okay, bye bye.
Or sir, are you sharing your LinkedIn account?